The work continues in Lincoln. Welcome to the Voice of College Football, Huskers. 62nd edition here with Greg Peterson from Husker Online. So, hey, I'm here all the time, but man, we don't have a show without Greg. So he's shown up 62 consecutive weeks. So we appreciate him. Bring on those comments and questions, and we'll talk about spring football and everything else that comes to mind. Greg, what's going on tonight?
Hey, Mark, how's it going?
Doing well.
Yeah. It's spring. We're happy. Spring practice rolling on through, and 80-degree weather. It's not too bad. So we're happy around here right now.
Okay. Just nobody mentioned food. Greg's hungry.
Yeah, well, yeah. Obviously, Mark and I talked a little bit before we went live, and I am hungry. So if anybody has any food suggestions for me for dinner tonight, let them roll.
All right. I went with the meatball sub.
Yeah, that's why he made me hungry.
Aiden's here. Alan's here.
Moonbot, baby.
David wants to know what defensive lineman in the portal are we getting?
Oh, my God. That's a huge question, isn't it? Obviously, you look at the defensive line, the defensive front right now, that's your biggest question on this football team. Right now in spring and then moving forward into fall. That's a tough question. And, the thing is who's out there that fits and that can come in and help. Nebraska hasn't really fared very well when they do bring in a transfer on the defensive line, besides Derek Daniels. So, and he was a 1-year deal. So, yeah, it's tough. I mean, obviously Nebraska is looking into the portal big time to add some talent to that defensive front. Because right now you're kind of dependent on, you got a couple guys there in Ty Robinson and then Casey Rogers that you're really hoping that can really step up a little bit and play big time football for you. And in the middle right now, the word is that Nash Hotchmeyer is the guy. I mean, obviously he's a big, strong dude, but he hasn't had a lot of playing time. But right now he's the anchor in there. So, yeah, it's no secret that Eric Shenander is out there. He's combing that waiver wire, so to speak, for the transfer portal. And they really do need to add a couple of bodies in there, in my opinion, because going into the fall, I'm pretty confident with every other position group on this team, besides that defensive line spot. So yeah, there's a lot of it's just hard to say who they're going to go for because it's a limited market and a lot of factors are involved in that. Who you really want to bring in and a guy that you can trust that's going to come in and be able to help you right away this season and play a lot of snaps.
Plus, that limited market is going to open up when spring practice is over and more guys jump in the portal. Yeah. So for right now,
there's no reason to rush things at this point, obviously. So, I mean, you're just dealing with what you have right now. And you do have some talented guys there. And like I mentioned, hopefully they can step up a little bit more and become some leaders on that line there and help propel them. And there were some times last season that I know the defense played great a lot, but there were some times last year where you kind of were like, that defensive front just kind of collapsed a little bit. And Wisconsin comes to my mind when you have a freshman running back that runs all over you just crazy. That's a problem, and that starts up front. So, yeah, it's going to be interesting to see what happens after spring's over.
There was only one team that he didn't run crazy against, and I think that was Minnesota the last game of the season. I just know in looking at his game log that every week was a $175 or a $140 or 210. And then somebody wrapped him up, and I think it was Minnesota the last game of the season to deny them a trip to Indianapolis.
I think he got banged up in that game. I don't know.
So if you're looking for names, don't know anything about Marquise Robinson, but he's a defensive lineman from Auburn. He still hasn't found a team. Most everybody else has that's a defensive lineman has found a team. There's a USC defensive lineman, Ishmael Sopsher. Actually, he was a big recruit. Ishmael Sopsher is a defensive lineman, and he's still in the portal. You got a Memphis defensive lineman, Kajan Robinson. He's in the portal. Texas Tech's got a defensive lineman, Nelson Banasor. He's in the portal. So BYU defensive lineman Victory Vakia. He's in the portal. All sorts of names out there. Arizona's got it. There's another Auburn defensive lineman who has yet to find a home. In the Indiana defensive lineman, Gavin McCabe. He's in the portal. So there you go. There's about 6 or 7 names for you. Pitt defensive lineman, Noah Palmer. He's in the portal. What do we know about these guys right now? I'd have to do some research. I got to admit, don't know anything about them. For anyone who tells me that I know everything about college football, no, I don't know anything about those guys. So sorry. I'd have to do a little research.
Yeah.
Most likely they haven't produced. They haven't played much because that's why they're in the portal.
Yeah. And like you said, spring ball is going on now across the country, and everybody knows that after spring ball's over, there's a little bit of attrition there. People kind of find out, or guys find out kind of where they are on the depth chart, and they figure, I may as well leave now, finish out the semester here, and start fresh somewhere else. So we'll see. I mean, there's going to be more names in the portal. We know that. And that's just the way things are nowadays here in college football.
Moonbot's here. He wants us to talk about the D-line. Greg hit that.
Now he wants O-line.
Talking about the O-line as well. Yeah, he threw one up about the D-line, one about the O-line. And Moonbot says with Xavier Betts gone, does this hurry up in getting the coldest on the field ability alone? He's a top 5 guy.
I think so. And I know people want to talk about Xavier Betts and what happened there. And I'll give you the nitty gritty is that Xavier quit the team. This wasn't anything involved on the coaches. He quit. I don't know. Mickey Joseph might be too much for him. I don't know, but the word is that his teammates don't want him back. Scott Frost, on the other hand, I think Scott Frost would welcome him back. But yeah, when you burn your bridges with your teammates and you kind of get labeled, it's hard to say. And I don't, I've known Xavier for a long time, and he's a good dude. I don't know. Maybe there's something else going on there, but no. Moving forward, like I mentioned last week. I mean, obviously, I knew what was going on, and I told you there was going to be a change, on the roster, and it's unfortunate, but like I said, it's a very loaded room, and when you talk to the guys right now, especially, the defensive guys that are defending against these guys in practice, that Trey Palmer name keeps popping up a lot. And you want to think that Omar Manning is going to be, that other guy. But you also have a ton of other weapons there. And Dakota Crawford's a guy that, obviously he's a young guy and stuff, and he's going to have his shots too. So yeah, it's a loaded room, and everybody's got a equal shot right now, and with Mickey Joseph being the wide receiver coach now, he's got a special kind of way of coaching that demands a lot out of his guys. And unfortunately, I don't think Xavier Betts just didn't. He didn't fit up to that kind of standard, and it was his own decision to leave. So yeah, there's a lot of guys there, and you got and I don't even mention Oliver Martin, who's a guy that he's back and going to be healthy, and there's a bunch of talent there. And the weird thing about this position group is, since Coach Frost got here, I heard this stat here earlier today that about 75% of the wide receivers that have been at Nebraska since Coach Frost has been here have ended up leaving. It's kind of a weird stat, but I don't know. It's hard to say if they feel like they can't develop here or they just don't fit into the demands. But it's all different now with a different offensive coaching staff, and I think you're going to see big changes in that stat here when guys actually decide to come here. I think they're going to stick it out. And you can throw out any names that, obviously, like guys like J.D. Spielman and Wandale Robinson's, hey, it's a different age now. It's a different offense. And observations right now with it is on my side of things is I think they're kind of swimming in things right now. And, they're trying to meld Mark Whipple's offense into Scott Frost's offense. And it's something that Scott Frost has never really considered until now. Since Chip Kelly pretty much left Oregon, Scott Frost has been running an offense his way. And now having Mark Whipple in and installing something new, I think there's a lot of things going on there where they're a little bit the learning process is pretty tough right now, I think, across the board. Besides that, the offensive line. So there's a lot going on right now that a lot of parts in motion.
Well, I understand that the wide receiver room has a number of bodies, but this was, a guy that was projected to be a main cog, battling for the number one spot. People have been waiting to see a lot out of Xavier Betts for a long time. He did catch 20 passes last year. I also think that, he's at the level of talent that he's going to be able to find a place to play if he so chooses and wants to continue to play football. He's going to be able to find somebody's obviously going to offer him a scholarship or 20, but at the same time, it's not the best look when if maybe I've decided this isn't the place for me. I don't like the position coach, or I don't like the setup, or I don't like this or that, or my playing time, or whatever the reason. I'm going to finish out spring practice and get the reps and not show my next team that I quit.
You know what? Personally, I don't think that even went through his mind. With what was going on, is that he just decided that it wasn't for him. And I haven't talked to him. I haven't talked to his high school coach either yet. But I don't know. I don't know if he wants to keep playing football at this point either. So it's hard to say right now with, when you're talking about, a 19-year-old kid about what's going on through their mind. And obviously he's a talented player. We've known that for a long time. And obviously, he's coveted and can find a place if he can academically fit in to another spot. But I don't know. Like I said, I've known him for a long time, and I consider him a friend of mine. So I wish him all the luck in the future, and maybe one day we'll find out what all went down with this. But like I said, there's plenty of guys there that will also be able to step up. There's a lot of talent in that wide receiver room and a lot of new faces. And, we haven't even mentioned some of these other guys, the transfers that have come in and put up huge numbers. So, all in all, that's maybe the position group that you can afford losing somebody overall on the whole team. So, yeah, it is what it is.
Steven's lineup here is to put Trey Palmer on the edge, Alante Brown in the slot, Omar Manning on the other edge. We need to worry about the tight end room.
Tight end room's decimated right now, obviously.
Yeah.
That's a good point, too, that he brings up Alante Brown, who I think is a guy that's going to be stepping up and playing a lot this year. Kind of turned into a J.D. Spielman type guy. But, yeah, the tight end room right now, really kind of hard. You don't have much to work with right now during the spring with Travis Volkolek's out. Chris Hickman has a shoulder now, and Thomas Fidoni obviously has the ACL. So you're kind of just running some other guys through. James Carney's a guy that was a freshman last year, a guy from Norris. He's probably obviously getting a lot of reps right now, but yeah, it's going to be interesting to see what happens there at that tight end spot moving forward. And I think once you have some healthy bodies back in there, it'll start to sort itself out. And they've done some changes in the past that they've moved wide receivers over to the tight end spot and vice versa. But the tight ends coach Sean Beckton's one of the best in the business, and he'll figure it out, and he'll get the most out of any of the guys that he's got there that are healthy enough to play.
8:30 Eastern, 7:30 Central. We roll out our all-time program rankings. We got a call-in show. Give us a call. Check it out on the Voice of College Football on the main channel. All-time program rankings. Where do you think Nebraska is going to land? I wonder. So tune in, give me a call, jump in the live chat, and voice your opinion. All-time program rankings. We got 10 criteria, and we unveiled all our conference rankings one by one, and now we're going to put it all together. So there you go. O'Shawn Mathis at TCU had a big 2020 with 12.5 tackles for loss and 8 sacks. We brought him up here. We've talked about him a number of times. We know that there's Nebraska interest in him, right? People are asking about him.
Oh, yeah. Definitely, yeah. He'd be one of those guys right up there on the top of the list. But like we said earlier, we'll let it play out here during the spring. And, some of these guys that they got a lot of options, these guys that are in the transfer portal. And if you kind of watched what Casey Thompson did when he ended up coming here, he had a whole strategic plan laid out for making his choice coming out of the transfer portal. So, yeah, I mean, that's obviously one of the biggest names out there that you're looking to add on that defensive front.
Okay.
Thought you froze there for a second. I lost my connection.
NN10, whatever that handle is, it's got a zillion letters and numbers. Can't make anything out of that. What's the picture? What picture is that?
That's a puffer fish, I think.
Okay. All right.
Just because I'm a marine biologist type guy, so.
Are you?
Well, yeah, I have 10 marine aquariums in my house.
Wow.
I used to own a pet store before I got into the broadcasting.
Really?
Yeah. So, long story. I'm a professional scuba diver as well. So,
nice.
Yeah, a lot of interesting things here.
Multifaceted.
With Mr. Greg Peterson. Yeah, I have a lot of different talents. But, talking about the running back room, what I'm hearing right now, and Moonbot's going to love this too. The front runners right now for the lead dog there in that room, Jock Yant, Ramir Johnson, and Anthony Johnson or Anthony Thomas. I'm sorry. So yeah, I mean that's some pretty good stuff there. We had a chance to talk to Jock Yant last Thursday, I want to say, and man, he's looking good, and he's happy, and I think the new scheme and the new offense is really fitting him really well. And he loves the offensive line, and the guy now is running like a stallion. His conditioning is so much better. He changed his whole body and his diet, cut out eating Raising Cane's was his go-to food there, and so he cut out the chicken fingers and started eating nutrition. Eating a good nutritional diet, and now his conditioning is a lot better. And look out for the ante. I'm thinking, him and Ramir Johnson, in my opinion, are going to be like a thunder and lightning type duo if I'm reading things correctly right now.
We are always happy to see our Oregon fan, Eric, here. Eric is a big supporter of the Voice of College Football. He's over on Discord.
Sorry.
What's that?
I said Anthony Grant is the other guy
yes.
in the mix there. I'm sorry.
So we always appreciate Eric being here. And again, he is one of our ardent supporters, and especially on Discord. But I'm seeing here, Eric is extra happy to be with all of us tonight. My appendix burst on Friday.
Whoa!
Wow. Eric.
I don't even want to know what that feels like.
Oh, we hope you're doing fine. It looks like you're doing fine. You say you're happy to be with us tonight. I guess so. Sorry to hear that.
Is he still in the hospital? Is he joining us from the hospital, or is he back home? That's scary.
Kyle Z must really be tracking. I'm not even going to post his comment. I don't want to post his comment, not because I don't appreciate him tracking my content, but he has tracked it so well. He knows where Nebraska. So I've released every Power 5 conference with all the rankings and the point totals. So there's a few people that keep track of it, so they can figure out when we put it all together what it's going to look like. But Kyle has given us a landing spot for Nebraska. I don't want to post that, Kyle. You can understand. I'm going to be doing our show at 8:30 and unveil the all-time program rankings, but Kyle's figured it out there. Okay. But we're also going to put some of these things into context too. So it's not all about just numbers. You got to put some things into context.
I see it.
So
yeah, I like it. I agree with it, Kyle.
All right.
Last 7, 8, 9 years kind of hampered that ranking.
Oh, yes, that hurts. No conference championships since '99, but at least they were playing well in top 25 teams for the next 10 or so years. But yeah, the last 5 or 6 have hurt.
Yeah, when you only win 3 or 4 games a year, that's not going to keep you up there with the rest of the big boys, is it?
Also got my Big Ten coaches rankings right here. So we're going to unveil those here soon. Got to post that video. Got to cut that video. So
who's number 1 on that list?
When as I do these rankings, I'll then bring them over here and throw them at you, and you can tell me what you think. So we'll do that.
I'm just kind of guessing here, though. I mean, are you judging like longevity here? As
right now, who would I hire right this second? But obviously, that has to do with their past performance, of course. But
no, that's good. I get it.
You know, if Bobby Bowden was around right now and it was his last year, I wouldn't rank him based on his greatness through the decades. I would say, well, I don't really want to hire Bobby Bowden right this second. He's kind of lost his fastball. know, trying to rank them where I see them right now.
Okay. No, that makes more sense. Yep.
Brad is asking on an update on the athletic facilities. Are they still laying brick and pounding nails? And
I see it every day. It's looking good. Oh yeah. Crazy amount of construction going on there. Still, just like all season last year, you get all the construction noise in the background when you're doing your post practice interviews. With all the heavy machinery going on, and yeah, it's looking really good. And to me, I mean, I don't really know if if it's on schedule or not, but it looks to me like it is. And pretty crazy when you see these big ass cranes sticking up over next to the stadium and stuff, and the whole skyline actually of Lincoln downtown has got some cranes on there, and that's a good thing. It's a sign of development and growth, and it's pretty cool. So yeah, I'm impressed every time I look out there, even if whatever the weather is. Sometimes the place is a swamp, and they're still out there, just going at it. So I think the funnest thing is actually to be looking out the window, and you're kind of trying to guess the way things are going to end up looking when it's done. So yeah, a lot of concrete, a lot of manpower out there, and a lot of crushed Busch Light beer cans sometimes there in the mud.
I'll get that cleaned up before the ribbon cutting.
Yep.
Moonbot, I feel for you and all Nebraska fans. I truly do. I'm being sincere, yes. And Ndamukong Suh, yes. Could be argued won you a title. It makes me want to go back and look at that play again just to see, hey, did they really screw that up? Or I know it was obviously within fractions of a second. I would have put 3 more points on your total there. We went 3 points for conference championships.
Well, it didn't hurt his career going forward any.
No.
So. I mean, all kidding aside, though, he's probably the best college football player I've ever seen in person. I mean, he was just that dominant. He's had a great NFL career too, but as a college player, my God, he was charts.
Yeah,
he could do everything. That's why he should have won the Heisman. They'll never give it to a defensive lineman, but he should have won the Heisman.
That would have been in 2009.
Wasn't it like 10? I'm not sure.
I'm going to look up his numbers and see which year that would have been, because I could go with you on 2009. Mark Ingram won it from Alabama, and obviously he had a great season, but I would be okay with that. But it would be tough for anybody to pry that one away in 2010 from Cam Newton.
I think that was the year. Yeah, it was 2010. Yeah.
And of course, it's impossible to spell Ndamukong Suh's name, so I can't even begin to spell it. Okay,
S-U-H.
so I guess I'm not going to look up his stats. Yeah, he was devastating. Yeah, he was. Moonbot says 2009, so he's with me, Moonbot. Okay, 2009. Yeah, so I can get on board with Ndamukong Suh.
That was Mark Ingram. I mean, come on, what did he ever do? And I'm not trying to upset Alabama fans, but seriously, what kind of he didn't do much in the NFL. He was a average player in the NFL.
Well, Ndamukong Suh, not that stats mean anything because he was a bigger force than his stats, but he was something else. He just wrecked offenses.
He did. He was a guy that scared the hell out of you, and you never wanted to ever go his way. but he would still find a way to disrupt your play, even if you were trying to play away from him.
Anybody joining us here in the last couple minutes? We've talked about O'Shawn Mathis, TCU defensive end, possibly coming to Nebraska, like we have talked many times. And we also have talked, of course, about Xavier Betts. So Greg has run it down. So if you missed it, wait till we're done. Video posts, jump on there, watch what you missed. My answer is scrappy to whether Nebraska has a chance to go to the Big Ten championship game. Yes, they have a chance. And I'm not just saying that because they're suiting up and playing like everybody else. No, they have a chance. I don't think it's a huge chance, but I think they got a shot. Sure. They've got as much. They have talent that can play with Wisconsin and Iowa.
Hey, right now they got just the same chance as Illinois does, right?
Well, yeah, they do. How about this, Scrappy? Beat Northwestern.
That would be a start. That's a start.
Start with that. Yep. That would be better than last season.
And hey, remember last year against Northwestern? Nebraska was crazy against them, and it was probably the best game of the year Nebraska played. So bring that momentum to Ireland, and I'll be there, and you'll all be able to see everything that I shoot there behind the scenes and everything.
Sweet.
During the whole week. Doing a whole week in Dublin. Can't wait.
Sweet.
Yep.
Colin J.
All paid for, by the way, by the Bowl, because we are a sponsor, or we're affiliated with them and stuff. So it's kind of cool. Aer Lingus and all the guys there in Ireland hooked us up.
Jose, didn't Cam Taylor-Britt have 2 punt return TDs called back for penalties? Hopefully Trey Palmer is allowed to keep his touchdowns.
That's a good point. And yeah, I mean, obviously too, you've probably seen Trey Palmer's highlights from LSU, and a lot of those involve punt and kick returns, and he's an electric player, and yeah, I think he's one of those. He's a special teams guy that Nebraska has not had in a long time. He's going to be a guy that probably out there on kick returns and punt returns. And the thing that I love about him is, and this goes to Mickey Joseph, kind of explaining his style and his attitude, and the trust that they put into Trey Palmer, that he can go back there and pick up a ball that obviously you should probably either just let go into the end zone or go out of bounds, and he can turn that into a touchdown in the blink of an eye. And the way Mickey Joseph explained it, it's kind of cool. And actually, Bill Bush is the guy explaining it about Trey Palmer, that he can spot a guy, and he knows you're going to put a guy back there. You have to have a special mentality. Any wide receiver can go catch passes and stuff, but if you're a punt returner, you have almost only like a split second to make a move, because you got guys bearing down on you, about to bury you. And you're a real man if you can stand back there and concentrate on catching a ball and be able to move out of the way in a split second. So that's a special talent. And Trey Palmer might be the best guy in the country with that mentality and that talent. From what I'm hearing from his coaches.
We know that running back Deandre Jackson verbally committed coming in from Texas A&M. Do we know anything past that?
Well, he had sorry, he had academic things he had to finish up there in College Station, which he's doing right now this semester, and his plan is to be here after the semester's over and his classes all pass, and then he's eligible to enroll here in Lincoln. So yeah, everything's still on track for him to join the team, and hasn't been looking anywhere else. Obviously, his former positioning coach Brian Applewhite is here in Lincoln, and yeah, as far as we know, he's on track, and unless there's a shakeup in his schoolwork, he should be here this summer and join the team for fall camp.
Bebo's looking for the nickel spot to get filled, saying Isaac Gifford appears to be falling back.
Yeah, it's kind of funny. I talked to Isaac for about 8 minutes yesterday after practice, and he's fired up. But he's having himself a pretty good spring. But they did move Chris Kolarvik over there, so right now it's those two guys kind of competing. But don't sell Isaac Gifford short. Obviously, he's got a good lineage. His brother Luke is an NFL player, and I've seen a lot of growth in Isaac since he got here from Lincoln Southeast, and just talking with him and looking at him, I was kind of impressed with kind of what he's done with his body and stuff too. So he's got a great shot, and right now, like I said, they're 3 weeks into spring right now, and they're moving guys around and seeing what the best fit is. So I wouldn't say anybody's taking a step back right now, but what I can tell you is that Isaac is a very confident player, and he'll do anything possible to be on the field. Doesn't matter what position, the nickel or if he has to play safety, either one. But he's a football player, and he loves Nebraska, and he's going to do everything possible for this team.
We appreciate everybody being here, but don't you just get here. You can bring some folks in here as well. Nebraska fans first and foremost, but you see USC fans, Oregon fans, other fan bases represented. So whoever you like, bring college football fans in here every Tuesday, 6 Central.
Uh-oh.
Oh, it's time.
Uh-oh, yeah. Who's that? Hi. Zoe had to join in again, yes.
Nice.
Okay. Okay, yes. You are a TV star. Yes, you are. We also have to have this interruption right here about dinner time, don't we?
Yeah, when it's dinner time, it's dinner time. Don't care if you're online, what you're doing. It's dinner time. Pops.
Oh, boy. It's not Tuesday night without Zoe, right?
Yeah, Zoe, I got to put a little graphic up for Zoe. Got to be ready for that next time.
You need me to send you a picture?
Yeah.
We can do that.
Be ready for Zoe. Maybe Moonbot can give us a good nickname for Zoe.
Yeah. What do you want? What should you be called? She's not big enough to be a Sasquatch, so can't use Yeti.
Yeah, she's what does she weigh? Maybe 35 or 40 pounds?
Oh, not even that.
No? Oh, she's smaller than I thought.
I don't know. She probably does weigh, but probably about 40. Yeah.
Well, Paul's asking, and a bunch of people have asked, is there really any latest news on Thomas Fidoni?
Really nothing. I mean, we know that he had surgery again. So that's about all you can really say. That's why I think Coach Frost didn't want to really comment much on it until he kind of knows the extent and then the timetable on his recovery and everything. But all I can say is that he went through surgery and it went well. So, all prayers and everything goes to him and his family.
Spring game coming up here April 9th. I'm going to go live.
Yeah, I see somebody asking if it's Saturday. No, it's not this Saturday. It's next Saturday.
Yeah, so, April 9th.
Yep.
The middle 3 Saturdays of April, there are a ton of spring games across America, the 9th, 16th, and 23rd. So I'm going to be live all over our channels those 3 Saturdays in particular. We'll see about this Saturday, but certainly the 9th, the 16th, and the 23rd, I will be here and all over the place.
Yeah, it's funny too because it's I have my wife's business partner here is a Notre Dame grad, and he's pretty well connected with the program there and stuff too. And he said he was at practice at Notre Dame, I think last Wednesday. I don't know. He goes all over the place. He was at the Oscars on Sunday night. He goes every year. But anyway, he was commenting on Notre Dame's, and he's like, Nebraska started pretty early, didn't they? Isn't there a spring game this week? I'm like, no. I mean, they started early, but they had spring break there, in the middle of it. And so this is kind of funny how far Nebraska is, compared to everybody else starting their spring this year. And we've talked about that before, is that the big reason why they started early is because they're going to tear out that turf in Memorial Stadium. And, they're trying to do that as quick as possible as soon as graduation's over. So, they got some big plans. And if anybody else was wondering, too, Trevor Alberts is, the AD is a traditional guy. And the turf now will be completely green. There will be no more green and white, lighter colored, every 10-yard thing going on. It's going to be looking like it used to. So, I mean, traditional Husker fans will like that, I think.
Missouri played its spring game last Saturday.
Jeez, they did?
Yes.
My goodness. What, are they tearing down their stadium?
Yeah, they must have something going on. But, they must have gotten going sometime in February. And then I noticed that Iowa State is playing scrimmages on like successive 2 or 3 Friday nights. And that's going to be kind of their spring game that they're open to the public.
Cool. I like that.
Yeah.
I think that, oh man, if you did that 3 Friday nights in a row, boy, that's cool to me.
Yeah.
Obviously, you're probably not, I don't know. I'm thinking you're not bringing in such a big payday with fans, but to me, that sounds like just a great idea. I know Nebraska is they're so proud of always having like one of the biggest crowds for their spring game and everything, and good reason why, because that's what they kind of gear up for. But that idea of just do your scrimmages on a Friday night and open it up to the public, to me, that sounds amazing. It really does. I would eat that up.
Yeah, that sounds cool.
Yeah. Especially under the lights. And
yep.
Man, yeah. Cool stuff.
The most
And that's
important...
Matt Campbell for you, man. I mean, Matt Campbell, he's a hell of a guy. Sorry, didn't mean to interrupt you again.
No worries. The most important question asked tonight is by Fox right there. How can I get on the Discord? So that is the most important question of the night. So Fox, this is what you do. You go to Patreon, patreon.com. Don't know if you're familiar with it, but it is simply Patreon, patreon.com. Search MarkRogersTV. Sign up there. And then I send you a link. And we've got about 55 people on our Discord. So you got about 55 other college football fans to talk with. and hopefully more by the day. All right. Thank you for asking. Macy and Me super sticker. Thank you, Macy and Me. Appreciate the support.
Boom. I see.
Oh.
Never mind me keeps asking about Fidoni's career being over. I can't answer that question. I hope it's not.
Absolutely not. I don't think we want to speculate on that.
And I don't know if that's if Coach Frost not commenting on it, much farther has anything to do with that speculation, but I hope not. He's a hell of a football player, and a guy that I really enjoyed covering throughout his high school career, and since he's been at Nebraska. So, yeah, it's tough though when you 2 ACLs in 2 straight years for a guy that really has never been hurt ever until then, and you got to feel for him and what's going through his mind, and as he has to go through rehab again, 2 straight years and not being able to see the field. So, yeah, we hope his career is not over, obviously. And the thing is, his plan was this was going to be his last year playing college football and was going to go into the NFL, but he hasn't had a chance yet. So we'll see. We will see.
Yeah, that's tough.
Mm-hmm.
Moonbot tells us here that you've got an interview with Tyrek Johnson. People are asking in the chat about Tyrek Johnson. He's a 5-star, former 5-star.
Yep. Hey, if there is a time for him to shine, it is right now. There's positions are up for grab, and he left Ohio State and came here, and we didn't see much of him last year, but obviously he had some pretty good guys playing in front of him last year as well. So, like I said, if he's gonna make a difference and make an impact, it's right now. The time is now for Tyrek Johnson.
Yeah, that gets people's attention when they know somebody was a 5-star. There's only about 35 or 40 of those per season that come out. Yelly Belly, thanks for the super chat, Yelly Belly. Hey, Greg, do you know how much Yanny's gold teeth cost? I always call him Yanty now. It's just automatic because of Moonbot. Anyway, did Delonzo Moore say his were 20 grand?
Well, Alonzo Moore played in the NFL, right?
Yes.
So he can afford that. And that's funny that you mentioned that, too, because I almost called him Yanty, too, the other day. I had to stop and say Jaquez. But I don't think Jaquez paid much for his because they're not real gold. Just let him prove himself a little bit on the field more and earn himself, so he can actually go buy some real gold choppers.
Appreciate the contribution, Yelly Belly. If we get some more of those, I will get myself some gold teeth.
Me too.
There we go. Tyler. Yes, Tyler, you and others, the 2 things that keep being asked about, first and foremost, Xavier Betts. We touched on that. So please just watch the rest of the video when it posts here in a few minutes. And then also O'Shawn Mathis. Yes, TCU defensive end. Yes, the Huskers are in pursuit.
Absolutely.
All right, folks.
Wow, we got a USC guy liking us here, huh?
Oh, yes. Tim's here for us. Yes, he is.
I love USC. I mean, I've been there so many times covering camps, USC Rising Stars camp many years when Pete Carroll was the coach there. And I was there actually the day Michael Jackson died, covering a camp and on the USC practice fields while helicopters are flying all over. We're all like, what the heck is going on? Michael Jackson had just died that day, so it was kind of crazy. And I've been to a game there in the Coliseum. just have so much respect for the University of Southern California. Really do.
They are one of the intriguing teams of 2022 with Lincoln Riley and Price to see
Yeah.
if they start their ascension.
Yeah. I
See
think
if they
good
come
things.
back.
I think he'll do good things there, obviously.
I believe so. I don't know if he's a great coach. I'm not saying that he's not. I'm just saying,
Yeah.
to me, he hasn't proven it yet. He's a really good one, and he didn't have to build anything at Oklahoma.
Right.
He just had to maintain. Now he's got to build something.
Yeah, and I think, what better place to try to build something than the University of Southern California? Really, I mean, you got everything at your disposal. One of the easiest places to recruit in the country. So
Should be.
yeah. I've been around Los Angeles area, the whole state of California, covering recruits for 20 years, and a lot of some of my favorite kids have ever come out of there, and yeah, it's pretty hard for a home state California kid to turn down a scholarship offer from USC. That's for sure.
At least it used to be, and probably will be going forward with him in place.
Yeah.
Lincoln Riley.
Yep.
All right, folks, we'll see you in a half hour over on the main channel, all-time program rankings call-in show. Appreciate you being here. We'll see you next Tuesday as well, 6 Central. Bring some friends with you here at the Voice of College Football. And, of course, we've got the most people that we've had the entire hour on right now. So you know what you need to do. Just wait for the video to post, and then you can watch the entire show. Greg, have an awesome week.
Yeah, you too. There's one quick question about the
Yep.
O-line I just saw there. Everything going on the offensive line here right now sounds really good, and you got a lot of different guys there and a different attitude change. So, quick answer on that is very positive on the offensive line.
All right, folks, GBR, good to see y'all, and we'll see you again next Tuesday, of course, for our 63rd edition, and bring some folks with you, and we'll see you then. Greg, thanks. See you soon.